So Wendy Williams is back attempting to garner sympathy and empathy and such for her current condition under her conservatorship and all this other thing. She went on to The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, the guy, to discuss and talk. And I think she had her niece on there to talk about her current situation and how horrible it is and the conditions that she's forced to live under and how she doesn't have access to her money. Now, look. Let's start this off just by, well, first of all, welcome to the Time Talk podcast. I want to talk about Wendy Williams. I want to talk about this because I saw this and I needed to say something about it because I thought it was absolutely pathetic. Here's a woman who's made her entire career basically disparaging people, attacking people, judging, disparaging, belittling people. Her entire career, that's what it's been made of, right? And she's also a nasty woman. I don't say that lightly, and I'm not saying that as a speculation, like, oh, I heard she was nasty. You can watch the docuseries that came out, that Wendy documentary thing that came out when it came out last year. And you could see her behavior in that. You can see the way she treats people, the way she talks to people. That wasn't an act. That's who she was. I'm not being mean. I'm just keeping it real. She's suffering from a bunch of problems. Feel bad about that. At the same point, you're a cokehead, a drug addict, or were, and whatever the situation was, and you lived your life and you did nothing but be mean to people, and you continue to be mean to people. I watched that documentary and I didn't feel one bit of sorry for her because of the way she talked to, I think it was a stylist or the makeup artist, the way she handled situations, the way she barked at people, the orders, and the way she spoke. That's who this woman is. She is 100% a diva and a nasty stereotype of a diva. Like the something you think about when you hear about like Anna Wintour, you hear the snappy kind of woman who you got to be scared to be around because they're going to be nasty. She is nasty. So I'm not sure how suddenly we're supposed to feel bad for this woman who's built a career of being mean and nasty to people and continues to be mean and nasty to people. If we want to talk about her cognitive abilities and whether or not she belongs having this conservatorship, above her, and whether they're treating her right and whether there's some ulterior motives when it comes to that and mismanaging her money or trying to get her money or keep her from her money, whatever that situation is, right? Yeah, that's an entirely different discussion because it happens all the time with these people. It happened with Britney Spears. Do we know that they're nuts? Are they not nuts? Who are we to judge? Are we getting true glimpses of this person's mental capacities? Do we really know the full story? Yeah. She went on The Breakfast Club to sort of show, hey, I'm not nuts. And she started speaking and she sounded relatively normal like Wendy Williams. No, she didn't sound like a total nutbag. But at the same point, again, go back to the documentary. Was that just fake? It wasn't fake. She endorsed this documentary and she did it. It's not as if it was some unauthorized thing with clips that were edited together to make her look bad, or it was documentary footage of her through the years without her knowing about it. And it was an unauthorized documentary that somehow got released. It was her. She wanted this to go out there and she's on there being a nasty, what. So now doing one morning of, I guess her drugs kicked in and she was able to get through that interview with Charlemagne and company and her niece on there complaining and asking for, there was like a moment where they were talking about a GoFundMe. I'm like, really? You're looking for money as well? I'm sorry, I just don't feel it. She mentioned her graduation of her son, Kevin. She met Kevin Jr. She mentioned that graduation, how great that was. But I remember from the documentary when she met with Kevin and it was a disaster. Like it was so awkward watching a son with his mother. It was like horrible. Like you can only imagine the abuse or whatever took place between them where he was totally uncomfortable. It was not a moment of mom and son reunited or feeling good together and he was happy to see his mother. It was terrible. Go back and watch that. I'm telling you, if you think I'm making this up or being mean, go watch the documentary. Go find the scenes in the documentary where she's barking orders at people and she's demanding things and she wants this and she wants that. That is not somebody who inspires sympathy. That is not, if she had her career where she had been mean to everybody and that was her shtick, right? Which it was, right? Talking about people, blowing people's spot up, making fun of people, judging people. If that was her thing, but in real life, she was kind of just like, she was a little diva, she was a black woman with, she had class and stuff, but she was a nicer person. then you know what? I could feel. I'd be like, all right, you know, she's not the first person to have a career where you're making fun of people, right? She did her thing, and you would have that respect for her, and you would look at her in her older years, and if she had cognitive decline and she had any issues with people and they were taking advantage of her, you might feel inspired to be, you know, to shed a tear for her, because you'd be like, all right, she built her career, you know, she doesn't deserve this. But when you see what kind of person she is, I'm sorry, it's just not possible for me to sit here and lie and act like, oh, Wendy Williams, let's show her respect. Oh, I feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her. I'm sorry, I keep it real. Time to talk, I keep it real. Let me know in the comments below what you think. You're either a Wendy supporter and you're blind and you're just like, hey, it's Wendy Williams, so you're going to naturally just gravitate towards whatever she says and you're going to think she's perfect. Or you're somebody who previously didn't know much about her. You saw the documentary and you recognize everything I'm saying, because I'm not making anything up. Again, go back and watch the documentary and see what kind of person she is. See the way she talks to people around her, the way she demeans people, the way she condescends to people, the way she barks at people and gives orders. She was a nasty old woman in a chair with her legs and all her problems having and all her plastic surgery all melting and falling apart and her eyes bulging out of her head. This is Wendy Williams. That is stuff that is brought on by herself, her drug use, her drug abuse through the years, and now suddenly we're supposed to feel some way about her. Sorry, I don't. Wanted to talk about it really quick. She also went on Don Lemon, but I don't care about Don Lemon either, so I didn't even look at that interview, but I'm sure she's making the rounds trying to find whoever will listen to her and whoever will, you know, help her on this current campaign of trying to come back. I don't know if she's trying to come back, she's trying to just get money, get sympathy. I don't know what she's doing, but anyway. Time to Talk podcast. Let me know in the comments below if I've been too harsh. If you think, are you a Wendy fan? Do you think, like, does she deserve money? Should we be reaching out to her? Should we be feeling like, hey, let's get Wendy back on track? Like, let me know in the comments below. Like the video on the way out or not. Subscribe if you've not subscribed. I truly appreciate when you guys do that. We're building the channel. We're going to get it going. And I'm always going to keep it real when it comes to stuff. I thought about before when I did this, and I said, do I really go in on? But yeah, I do. I do go in, because I'm sorry. Like I said, you don't need to be a Wendy fan or not a fan. If you watched that documentary and you didn't know who this woman was, and you saw someone treat people the way she treats people and the way she speaks, you would be appalled. And you would not like this person. So there's no reason for me to fake as if somehow I should feel bad for her or somehow she's this really good woman, because she's not. So karma is a mofo. See you in the next Time to Talk podcast. Peace.